house of love. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to you, wherever you are at this very moment in time. Thank you for tuning in to yourself first, and then tuning in to the broadcast. And as you tune in, you give yourself permission to listen. As you give yourself permission to listen, you make space for transformation. So thank you for tuning in and listening and creating a space for transformation. I am Ade, your transformational beingness artist. Welcome to another episode of Ade Presents Being You, the podcast journey back to yourself. Take a moment to claim your space, whether you're moving around or not. Whether you're sitting still, whether you're listening, but you're not in front of your device, your computer, take a moment to call yourself back home. Call yourself back to yourself. Remind yourself that you are here, you are present, and you are now. I am here. I am present. I am now. Welcome all of you, those of you, yes, my brother Elijah Akeem is in the house. New Jace, Jackie's in the house. Welcome. Ashley, nice to see you. And all the silent listeners, there are those of you who are listening that don't chat. I call you silent listeners. And then there are those of you who are in the chat, letting it known. Just call you I guess I call you the active listeners. I didn't really have a name for you, but I do now. Allow the breath to move through you as you remind yourself who you are. This is season 4, episode 22. Today is June 21st, 2022. It is the first day of summer. It's a new beginning, a new season, a new space and place and time for you to reveal yourself to the world, but not before you reveal yourself to yourself. Because if you reveal yourself to the world without revealing it to yourself, you don't know what the flip you're doing. It's like, oh my God, is that acceptable? Oh my God, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Oh, they're judging me. But when you reveal yourself to yourself, and that means being aware of what makes you come alive, what you're nervous about, what triggers you, just bringing yourself to the table. So when they're out there trying to judge you or criticize you, hey, Don, you can say, yep, it's true. You're right. I'm working through it. I don't know if I'll ever get through it, but I'm doing my best. You're right. It's about revealing yourself, your true self, and the way that helps you. And when you come from the intention, the place to support yourself and how you navigate this thing called life, you give other people permission to go through their growth process. You get to be more compassionate with them. Because some of us are, I'm not going to say that. We're on different levels of consciousness. That's what I'm going to say. But some of us are in different classes, right? We're at different levels. And the best way to bring us all together, to bring yourself back to yourself, one of the best ways anyway, is to ask yourself deeper questions. And I tell you, being you, the podcast is an invitation. It's an invitation to ask yourself, what does it mean to be me? Am I always showing up as me, or am I showing up as what I'm being told to show up as? Do I really believe what I say I believe? What I believe to be true, is this my truth or somebody else's? And I also got a question for you. I ask this question every week. How do you see yourself? You just stand in the mirror of your consciousness, and ask, how do I see myself? When you're lying in bed at night, just before you go to sleep, I'm telling you, you do this practice, it will shift your sleeping pattern. So rather than lie down there and go, oh my God, I don't want to go to my job tomorrow. How am I going to pay that bill? You can do that. You don't need my permission. Sometimes it almost feels like you don't need your permission to have those thoughts. Those thoughts are waiting. Oh, you're trying to go to sleep, huh? You know you got a bill you need to pay tomorrow. How you going to pay it? Mr. Big Shot, Miss I Got My together. You can switch that by getting involved in the conversation and asking yourself, how do I see myself? I don't know. Right now, I see myself as someone who can pay their bills. Okay, that's a good place to start, but stay with it. Well, I'm a daughter, I'm a son, I'm a nephew, I'm a niece. How do I see myself? Someone who's doing their best, someone who is figuring it out. I'm not where I used to be. And then you find yourself even like confronting the fears, the fear thought. If I don't pay the bill tomorrow, what's going to happen? Well, son God, happy belated birthday, my brother. If I don't pay the bill tomorrow, what's going to happen? Well, they're going to charge me late fees. Okay, I'd rather not do that. But okay, so be it. I don't have the money, so that gives you a lot of room. And you stay with the truth about the situation, the truth about you. How do I see myself? And you may, when you sit with that long enough and get a broader perspective of who you are, you may call tomorrow and say, listen, I know I should have paid yesterday, but I need to pay now and I can't afford the late fees. Like, well, we have to charge it. Well, things are kind of challenging, and you never know who you're going to be talking to. Like, yes, we understand. Well, hold on one second. Let me see what I can do for you. And then they come back and say, you know what? We're going to waive the late fee. Things are hard. And you're like, oh my God, thank you. So rather than waste last night worrying about stuff that ain't happened yet, you can claim your identity. You can claim your truth by asking yourself, how do I see myself? How do I see the world? Ask yourself, how do I see the world? Go through the process and keep asking yourself, how do I see myself in the world? What role are you playing in the world? What are you adding to the world? What are you taking away from the world? Are you causing pain? Are you bringing solutions? Are you one of those people that somebody else is talking about? Like, oh, I can't stand my coworker. I can't stand my coworker, my supervisor. Are they saying, I got this coworker, this supervisor, this person that works next to me. She just knows how to help me find peace. You're not doing it for that. When you're living your truth, you become a blessing to yourself and others. And the fourth question is, how do I see myself? How do I see the world in me? So it's how do I see myself? How do I see the world? How do I see myself in the world? And how do I see the world in me? They're not separate. It's all the same. You are the common denominator. So when you give yourself permission to look, when you're not afraid to look, when you create a space of awareness, create space, period, to experience what you're going through and growing through, it helps you. It helps you become more. You may be in a different space. You may be in a space that you don't want to be getting used to, but just allowing yourself to go inside and take a breath gives you a different perspective. And if you're experiencing pain, taking a moment to stop and breathe. But this hurt. Yes, take a moment and breathe. Breathe to that part of your body that's hurting. Breathe into that part of you that is hurting. Maybe it's your mind, maybe it's your brain, maybe it's your heart, maybe just all over. Take a moment to breathe in and breathe out. Not shallow breath. Put your hand on your stomach. When you breathe out, let it extend all the way out. Or you can just imagine your nose is on your belly button. Your breath is oxygen. Your breath is life, because breath is life. And life is God. Life is good. So when you're breathing in God, you're breathing in goodness. You're breathing in divinity. You're breathing in life force. And you're resetting your nervous system. You're allowing yourself to catch a new understanding of who you are. And in that moment, you just might remember, like, wait a minute. Ooh, I put something in the oven. Like, oh, shoot. And you get there just in time. It works both in the mundane and the sacred. I want to invite you to share this show with your friends. Like it, share it on wherever you are, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, I invite you to just go ahead right now. It's a request. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's YouTube. If you don't know, it's youtube.com/life coach Ade. Just go over there, subscribe, do your thing, but keep listening. Whatever you do, keep listening. Today's topic, today's theme is pain is a teacher. Now, I even want to say pain is your teacher. So when you run from it, you're running from your blessings. You're running for wisdom. You're running from opportunity to grow yourself, to strengthen your spiritual muscles. But before we go into that, because once I get into the topic, it's a wrap. Okay? I want to tell you about some upcoming events. July 9th, I have my event representing your ancestors. Representing your ancestors. And this is an event where we use that I call represent your ancestors. What's in the name? We're using names, your name, to tap into deep wisdom. We're using your name to get a better understanding of yourself. It's geared towards self-knowledge. If you don't know yourself, you won't know much. And if you think you know much but don't know yourself, you're literally building your life on sinking sand. The best gift you give yourself is the gift of self-knowledge. And your name is not just a name. Some of us know that. Some of us like, it's just my name. But give yourself permission to understand your name. And not just from a conscious perspective. Not because you Googled it or because your parents told you what it meant. But from an energetic perspective, your name represents your soul signature. It represents something about you. You say, Dion. Ooh. It makes me think of the singer. Dion, what does that mean? What's the origin of the name? What's the root word? Who in my ancestry had the same name? Hey, Dion. When you have a better understanding of who and what you are, it helps you to navigate traumatic experience, trauma and painful and triggering experiences. Doesn't matter if you're dealing with mass shootings, white body supremacy, as Resma Menakem would say. Doesn't matter if it's domestic abuse, gender bias, financial struggle, health issues, low self-esteem, belonging, and it goes on and on. When you know yourself, it helps you navigate this. Dion is listening watching on IG, and she said she was named after Dionne Warwick. And I'm willing to bet you when you look at what it means to you, when you look at how you show up, I'm willing to bet that you're going to see some similarities between you and her. There is a connection. What is it about? And I'm talking to everybody. If you're named after the nurse, the doctors, a neighbor, what is it about that person that was so attractive to your mother, to your father, to your parents that they decide to give you that name? And when you sit with it long enough, you will find yourself in a place that you've never imagined. Or maybe you have. That's what's in the name is about. It's July, so you can join us. If you want to go deeper, you can do it all by yourself. Dion said, definitely not the singing voice. Well, maybe you didn't give yourself permission. But hey, I'll take your words for it right now. But you haven't taken singing lessons. If you really want to, there's a song inside of you. At least one or two. So if you want to go deeper with your names, go to bit.ly/, what is it? I got all these BITs. Okay, here we go. Your ancestors 3, the number 3 that is, bit.ly/your ancestors and the number 3. That will take you to the Reimagine page. Register July 9th, 2022. And then on the 23rd, right now meaning there's stuff coming in between, but right now, these 2 events, July 23rd. This is a another event that I did this past Saturday, actually, around grief ritual, representing our ancestors. What's in the name is representing your ancestors. In like Steve Harvey, your ancestors, ancestors. But representing our ancestors, that's when we come together individually and collectively to heal, to face the grief that we're carrying, which is also about really healing pain, to understand the lesson and the messages in the pain that you're going through. We're going to talk more about that. That's July 23rd, 2022. I don't have a short link for that yet, but if you go to Eventbrite and type representing our ancestors, it will take you there. You can register. It's not too early to register, but I'm going to create a short link later on. All right, there's more I want to say, and I'm going to keep going because we want to talk about pain. Pain, P-A-I-N. What does that mean? It's in the word itself. Pain, P-A-I-N. Pay attention. Inward now. P, pay, A, attention, I, in, N, now. Did you get confused? Just breathe. Pain is inviting you. It's calling you. Whether it's a physical pain, whether it's non-physical pain, it's calling you to listen, to tune in, to receive the message. So I did some research, a little bit of research. From a medical perspective, what is pain? Physical pain. According to Johns Hopkins Medicine, they said pain is an uncomfortable feeling that tells you something may be wrong. Yes, I love it too, Dion. Dion said, I love that. Pay attention inward now. Yes. Pain is an uncomfortable feeling that tells you something may be wrong. You know, sometimes we get so spiritual, I don't like, we're wrong. I mean, there's a part of it that wants to change that, but yeah. But if that doesn't work for you, pain is an uncomfortable feeling that tells you something needs attention. You can go with that. It can be steady, throbbing, stabbing, aching, pinching, or described in many other ways. Sometimes it's just a nuisance, like a mild headache. Other times it can be debilitating. That's the physical pain. And it can be your teacher too if you let it. And as I do some more research to hear what they say currently the best way to treat pain is to manage the symptoms. To manage the symptoms. Sometimes that's all you can do, manage the symptoms. And there are times when you can go to the cause. That comes with understanding yourself, having the right medical professionals, the right doctor. Like, yes, this is happening. We can manage the pain. Sometimes that's all you can do, as I said, but sometimes they say, but what is really causing this? And there's some doctors who would do that. There's some healers who would do that. Most spiritual healers is going to the cause. The work that I do is like, let's go to the cause. I'm not a medical doctor. I deal with the spiritual nature. My mother wanted me to be a medical doctor, but I'm sure she's happy now. I'm a different kind of a doctor. I'm a true healer. That's right. I said a true healer. So pain is a general term that describes uncomfortable sensation in the body. It stems from activation of the nervous system. That's what healthline.com said. Like emotional pain, non-physical pain itself. Now that's something else. That could be triggered by grief, by deep sorrow, by sadness, by depression, loneliness, isolation. You know, you just feel the pain in your head, in the back of your eyes, in your heart area, in your stomach, all over your body. Sometimes you go to a doctor and they say there's nothing there, and they say you're making it up. But sometimes some of those people don't pay attention. Like if you're feeling it as a patient, as a client, if you're feeling it, it's just their responsibility to pay attention to it. And if they don't, then you need to find somebody who's going to listen to it, because that's important. You know, the pain from a non-physical perspective can be caused by negative thoughts of thinking, oh my God, this what's going on. I'm never going to find somebody to marry me, to date me, to go in a relationship with me. I'm never going to have enough money. I'm never going to never, all that stuff. Oh, what's going on in the world? This is really hard times. I'm going to suffer. My business is going to do, it's not going to do well. I mean, there are abundance of negative thoughts. They're like, hey, can I hitch a ride with you? And there are abundance of positive thoughts that say, can I hitch a ride with you? So the thoughts that you carry bring about the emotions that you feel, the positive emotions and the negative emotions. In fact, you can go as far as saying emotions are negative, emotions are neutral. Now, we're the one human to say that's a negative one, that's a positive one. Sometimes you want the negative ones as well as the positive one. When you can embrace both, you learn from them. Non-physical pain can come from feeling shame, can come from feeling guilty, from blaming somebody else or somebody else blaming you. Can't quite put your hands on it, but it's still causing pain. Feeling like you're not worth anything. That what you have is not good enough. Or maybe you're not where you think you're not where you want to be. You think you're not where you need to be. That's a lie. That's a lie. Thinking you're not where you want to be or thinking that you're not where you need to be. And then I could feel some people saying, well, I know where I want to be and I wrote my goals down and I knew by this time I should be doing this. And the reason I'm not where I need to be is because this happened or this didn't happen or that happened. Or, okay, if that happened and you're not where you think you need to be, it means you're exactly where you need to be. You may not like it. You may resist it. You may push back. But that itself will cause you pain. Hey, Quali, nice to see you. That itself, resisting where you are, resisting what's happening in your life, causes pain. So if you don't get anything out of this conversation today, this podcast today, the show today, I want you to understand, if you resist the pain, you miss the message. And on top of that, you even create more pain because you're pushing back and you're going to lose the fight. How do you fight something you can't touch? And even if you can touch it, it's a physical pain. Now, for those of you with high levels of consciousness, which is everyone that's listening to me, and even if you came in there feeling like, I'm not quite there, well, just by listening, you've graduated. Pain is caused by avoidance, not wanting to look, not wanting to admit what is happening. Pain is caused by being attached to things being a certain way, being other than the way it is right now. Pain happens when you keep the thoughts, negative thoughts. You allow yourself to judge yourself, compare yourself. And let me tell you something. You can't tell anybody. So I'm going to look at all my 3 cameras. Facebook and YouTube. IG, which is the Life Coach Ade account, and the Being You podcast. I need to tell you something. Pay attention. Now let me look at this camera first. The part of you, the aspects of you that you judge. I'm talking to all of you right now. The parts of you that you judge, whether it is physical, whether you judge yourself for how you show up, your way of being, do you know that is your gift to the world? That is what makes you unique. That is your unique way of expressing the divine light. That is you. So you think about judgments that you have about yourself. Maybe you compared yourself to your siblings. You compared yourself to somebody else hosting a podcast or somebody else creating content on social media. You think, I'm not like that. Maybe you compared yourself to a spiritual teacher, a guru. Like, I wish I was like that, but I'm not like that. Or a professor, a teacher, a neighbor. Ooh, take your power back and turn that around. The things that you judge about yourself is the doorway to the gift that is you. Chew on that for a minute. Tell me how that is landing for you. Sometimes allow yourself to think with your fingers. I'm talking to a friend of mine. I won't name names. The things that you don't like about yourself, you judge about yourself, you criticize about yourself, it's your gift. And when you fall in love with that, oh, that's pure self-knowledge, that's self-understanding. That you allow your light to shine. Just, oh, why is that still up? Just thinking about that just makes me excited. Well, let me take this banner down because it wasn't meant to be up all that time. But it reminds me to tell you to like and share this conversation. Share it with your family members, with your network, on social media. Click it. Educate. Educate the algorithm and saying, listen, this is what you need to be paying attention to, rather than all that BS. Think with your fingers. Okay. So now, I talked about those of you who are high levels of consciousness. I'm going to do some reading from a book called My Grandmother's Hands by Resmaa Menakem. If you don't have this book, get it, especially if you care about what's going on in the world when it comes to supremacy, when it comes to being traumatized. The things that are going on in the world have a better chance of being eradicated when we connect with our bodies. When we tell the truth about what we feel, about what we see. The truth about where we've been triggered, about what we feel in the body, not in the head. You know, sometimes when you share your trauma, your triggers, things that hurt you, things that make you angry with someone, and they get heady about it, it makes you mad. Like, why do I even bother with you? So think about that. When you are feeling some things in your body that you're wrestling with, that you're struggling with, when you get intellectual about it, your body is like, why do I even bother about that? There is an aspect of you just saying, no point. He ain't gonna listen. He ain't gonna listen. She ain't ready to listen. They are not ready to listen. So think about that. So what I want to read here and talk about here is what Resmaa calls clean pain and dirty pain, but more about the clean pain, because that's what this show is about. This show is about clean pain. And there's a little chapter that I'm going to read about dirty pain. This is My Grandmother's Hands, Racialized Trauma and the Pathway to Mending Our Hearts and Bodies. Chapter 12, page 166, New Jace. I love my friends and people in my life. They help me stay on the right path, which makes me think of the grief ritual we did this weekend. There were some of the things that came back. I just had a door open. My ancestors were like, open the door. We want to teach. I don't know why that door opened. There are things that I got in the feedback that was very useful. And I'm thinking, yes. And confirms what I know. But anyway, back to the point. The wisdom of clean pain. And what I want to do is, with the chapters, Resmaa has quotes which are in alignment with what he's talking about in that chapter. And I'm going to slow this down because it is important. And the funny thing is, I shared this quote during my grief ritual this past Saturday. Actually, I shared the two quotes that I'm going to share with you now. And I shared the first one. I couldn't pronounce their first name because I did not pronounce the first name, the middle name of the first quote. It'll make sense in a minute. Just stick with me. Don't worry. I get to it. Because I didn't want to mess it up. And today I made an attempt. And then I thought, let me find out who this person is. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to pronounce her name. So the quote is, life is full of pain. Let the pain sharpen you, but don't hold on to it. Life is full of pain. Let the pain sharpen you, but don't hold on to it. That's a quote from Patricia, and I'm going to take a stab at this. I'm sure I'm slaughtering it, but I'm going to make it. I can take a stab. Patricia Numbuyiselo Noah. So I left out Numbuyiselo during my grief ritual, and today I googled it. I'm like, oh man, I should have said the whole name. Well, Patricia Numbuyiselo Noah is Trevor Noah's mother. And he just gave that quote that, most of us that love Trevor Noah. And he talks about his mother and what she went through. He wrote a book, Born a Crime, which is a whole, I haven't read it yet, but the things that I've heard and read, seen about it, it's like definitely it's next level and I want to read it. Life is full of pain. Let the pain sharpen you, but don't hold on to it. Let's talk about the pain of being judged, the pain of being criticized. Let the pain sharpen you, but don't hold on to it. But sometimes we think because we're feeling pain, something is wrong. Because someone is judging or criticizing us, there's something wrong with us. And then when we come from an intellectual perspective, we say something's wrong with them. Well, for you to hold that in your mind and projecting that wrongness, now you're aligning with that vibration too. But now I'm not even saying don't hold that, but sometimes based on where you are in consciousness, no, something ain't wrong with me. Something's wrong with you. That's you rising up the emotional scale. Like rather than just take their words for it and say something's wrong with you, part of reclaiming your power, your strength, it's saying, no, something's wrong with you. Abraham Hicks has, which I don't have that book near me, they have this emotional scale. And I think the lowest scale, if I remember rightly, is depression is the lowest and joy, love is the highest. In Abraham, they talk about even jealousy is riding up the emotional scale. Being indifferent. Now, I don't know if it's indifferent. Is it indifferent? I can't get that book right now. Google it. It's on Ask and You Shall Receive. I think it's page 114. So sometimes telling somebody else, you're wrong, I'm not wrong, is you rescuing yourself. The second quote is self-care is the constant practice of not letting more pain accumulate. There's more, but just sit with that for a minute. Self-care is the constant practice of not letting more pain accumulate. Just sit with that for a minute in your life. Are you allowing more pain to accumulate? Are you judging yourself? Are you criticizing others? Are you judging the world? There's a song called Earth is Ghetto. I want to get out of here, something like that. I love the melody. I love something about the energy of the song. I appreciate. And if you're on IG, you probably come across it. Earth is Ghetto. And I remember when I first heard it, there's something about the melody, the lyrics that caught my attention. But at the same time, the lyrics goes on to say, get me out of here, I want to get out, the way people are treating themselves. Basically, the singer was saying, I can't take this anymore. But when you avoid what is happening in front of you, you pretend it's not there, or you're just like, I'm not going to look. You make room for more pain. Okay, let me read the whole quote, because I love this quote, and I feel like I can do a whole podcast on it. Self-care is the constant practice of not letting more pain accumulate. It is about continuously remembering that our lives are of value. It is the active process of settling our nervous systems so that we have more access to the present moment. Self-care is the constant practice of not letting more pain accumulate. It is about continually remembering that our lives are of value. It is the active process of settling our nervous systems so that we have more access to the present moment. And that's by Susan Rafo. She's a social justice teacher, a body worker come from a place of embodiment. As I said at the beginning, when we spend more time checking in with the body, what we feel, and we don't run to the head, we create space for us to heal. We create space for us to metabolize the pain, the energy, the vibration. So I told you I was going to read from Resmer's book, and that's just the quote, right? So this is chapter 12, page 165, The Wisdom of Clean Pain. When you embrace clean pain, you allow yourself to receive the message. I said pain is a teacher. Pain is a teacher. But if you're dealing with it from what Resmer calls dirty pain, you miss the message, you repeat the same thing, you hurt yourself and you hurt others. But let me not go ahead of myself, but I already went ahead of myself. So I come back to the present moment. This is what Resmer said about the wisdom of clean pain. Healing trauma involves recognizing, accepting, and moving through pain. That's what he calls clean pain. When you recognize it, when you accept it, and you move through it. It often means facing what you don't want to face. What you have been reflexively avoiding or fleeing. By walking into that pain, experiencing it fully and moving through it, you metabolize it and put an end to it. So what pain are you dealing with? What are you moving through? Moving through it like water, as Ashley said on IG. Yes, moving through it. By walking into that pain, experiencing it fully, and moving through it, you metabolize it and put an end to it. In the process, you also grow. You create more room in your nervous system for flow and coherence, and build your capacity for further growth. Think about pain. Even when you were born, there was pain. When you're growing, there's pain. When you're changing, there's pain. When there's transformation, there's pain. Sometimes it's mental. It's in your head. You're like, oh my God, I know I can be doing something different, but I haven't got the grasp of it yet. This hurts so much that I know what to do, but I somehow struggle with doing what I know to do. In that moment, when you find yourself in that place, stop. Just stop. Feel it. Move through the fact that you believe you know what to do, but you can't do it yet. Just come back to the present moment and remind yourself, eventually I will move to the next stage. Clearly, I need to be here. What do I need to learn about where I'm at right now? Let me read some more. Paragraph 2. Clean pain is about choosing integrity over fear. It is about letting go of what is familiar but harmful, finding the best parts of yourself, and making a leap with no guarantee of safety or praise. Take a leap. Take that jump. And you don't know if you're going to fly or if something's going to catch you. And it is more likely to happen in a body that can stay settled in the midst of conflict and uncertainty. So when you take that leap, when you let go of what is familiar, and you're not trying to say, well, what are people going to say? People are going to say, you handled that very well. You were very strong. Oh, well, you inspire me. It's even beyond that. There's so much beyond that's about you. This healing does not happen in the head. It happens in the body. And it is more likely to happen in a body that can stay settled in the midst of conflict and uncertainty. Let me read one more chapter about clean pain, and I'm going to read something about dirty pain. When you come out of the other side of this process, you will experience more than just relief. Your body will feel more settled and present. There will be a little more freedom in it and more room to move. You will experience a sense of flow. You will also have grown up. You will also have grown up a notch. What will your situation look like when you come out the other side? You don't know. You can't know. That's how the process works. You have to stand in your integrity, accept the discomfort, and move forward into the unknown. You have to stand in your integrity, accept the discomfort, and move forward into the unknown. Now, somebody might say, what do you mean accept the discomfort? It's too uncomfortable. I don't want to accept it. I'm being traumatized by my trauma. When you're in this state of consciousness, when you're coming from this awareness to say, okay, pain is something that I need to move through, walk through, accept, embrace, you're at a different level of consciousness. You're no longer running from the pain. You're no longer pushing it away. You're no longer avoiding it. You're actually coming from a high level of consciousness saying, you have been around for such a long time. You've been around for 5 minutes. You've been around for 24 hours. However, what is it? Whew. Okay, I'm breathing through it. You might be at a stage where you can't even have that conversation. It's too painful. All you can do is cry. All you can do is scream. All you can do is to numb yourself. Well, numbing yourself is not healing. Well, it's a level, it's part of healing. It's part of the process. Because your body will numb you even without you trying, because your body say, whoop, nope, you can't let it be too much. They say God doesn't give us more than we can handle, something like that. Well, you know why? Because there is an intelligence in you that knows how much it can take through you, so that you can metabolize it, so that you can transform it, so that you can shift it. You know how much you can take. If you're in a situation where you feel like, I can't take this, oh, well, if you're still in it, you certainly can. And there's a message there. There's a lesson there. Dirty pain. The alternative paths of avoidance, blame, and denial are paved with dirty pain. When you're avoiding pain, when you're blaming somebody else for the pain, when you're blaming your father for not being around, when you can't forgive your father, I don't give up about my father. I'm not wishing nobody. I don't care about Father's Day. He was never there. He was guess what? You're the one thinking those thoughts. You're the one speaking those words. Guess who's going to catch the impact of those words and those thoughts you're holding? You! Especially if you keep repeating it over and over and over and over. No, I'm good. I'm good without that, whatever. Or maybe it's your mother. I'm good. I ain't got time for him. I've survived without him. Oh, what's up with all the attitude? The words that come out your mouth will tell you a lot more about yourself than other people can tell you. Every criticism is a confession. You don't have to be in your father's life, in your mother's life, in somebody's life to be healed. But how you share the story, how you talk about that person, how you talk about that relationship will let you know how close you are to healing, or if you've healed it or not. So if you're avoiding it and blaming them for what they did to you, or your attitude will tell you more. That's dirty pain. It's easy to be angry, and it takes courage to be hurt. It's easy to say, I am angry. And it takes courage to speak the truth and say, I am hurt. Because being hurt, sometimes the society has programmed us to think that's weakness. And nobody, I ain't hurt, I'm just angry, I'm just pissed. Well, sometimes if you sit long enough with the anger, sit long enough with being pissed, and you go down to the bottom, why are you pissed? Oh, because blah, blah, blah. Because, and you sit long enough with it, you just might find out that you were hurt. You felt betrayed. You felt used. And if you allow yourself to be with that and pull on the wisdom of those who came before you, the wisdom keeper, the grandmothers, your ancestors, you pull on that wisdom. You might, first of all, when you give yourself space to tell the truth about your own journey, your own experience, you give room and space for the pain to rise up, to move, because now you're confronting it. You give yourself permission to be made whole. You give yourself permission to be healed. Healing is in your hands. Your thoughts are part of your healing. How are you using your thoughts? You can use your thought to heal you, or you can use your thoughts to cause you more pain. You can walk around feeling like a victim. You cause more pain. A victim that's looking for a hero to protect you because there's a perpetrator. But if you step away from that triangle, from the victim, perpetrator, and hero triangle, say, I'm out of that. No matter what it is. And I'm not even telling you to do that. I'm telling you to get curious. But I also know what happens when you step out of that triangle. There's too much of that. We're just kept in a triangle. Where there's a perpetrator. I need a hero because I'm being victimized. I'm a victim because I'm a victim. You can be victimized and not be a victim. When you change one of those labels. I remember going through a process with Rev D. And we were talking about that triangle. And she asked, if you eliminate one of them, what's the story? And I don't remember the story now, but in that process, what I remember was, where I went to is I stopped seeing myself as a victim. Or no, actually, it was me thinking whatever, I think it was a person, that if I just released the idea that they were doing something to me, what's the story? And in that moment, I said, if I let go of someone causing me pain based on their actions, if I just let that go, I actually don't have any story. Now, when I caught that realization and I was about to say it out, I thought what I was saying didn't make sense. I was like, how can you say there's no story? There's got to be a story. I said, if I let that go, then I don't have a story. And Rev D said, it was in the class that she was teaching. She said, exactly. When you let that go, it's not denial. It's claiming your power. Walking in your true essence. It's like, no more. Speaking of Rev D, she has a book called Your Sacred Yes, Letters from the Infinite. When you decide that I don't need a hero to come save me, I no longer make room for a perpetrator, and I refuse to see myself as a victim, that's called sacred yes. The sacred yes is aligning with the truth. Like, I don't know how this is going to turn out. I don't know what new story I'm going to tell. But I'm saying yes to me. I'm saying yes to life. I'm saying yes to deeper wisdom, higher consciousness. I'm saying yes to the power and the presence of the divine to help me heal in a new way. The sacred yes can be scary. But when you trust, it's a way to prove to yourself that you believe, that you know what you say you know. Welcome, my brother. Namaskar, William. Healing is in your hand. Your healing is in your hands. My healing is in my hands. And our healing is in our hands. And part of the reason we're seeing some of the things we're seeing today in our individual lives and collective life is because, one, we're not facing the pain. We're not asking deeper questions. We're not trying to learn from the teacher known as pain. We're spending so much time blaming, avoiding, projecting, intellectualizing. It doesn't matter how horrible it is, even if it's white body supremacy, aka white supremacy, oppression, structural racism, institutional racism, even that. The only power that white supremacy has, white body supremacy has, is the power that we allow it to have. First of all, you take your power back. I talked about self-knowledge. Get to know yourself. So when they come up with that BS, you change their BS. You use your belief system, the belief system of knowing that you're one with God, and use their BS as a fertilizer. Like, I'm going to use your shit to grow me. And as I use your shit to grow me, I experience a shift. And from that place, you catch new insights, new awareness, new understanding to start, or to continue, not start really, to bring down this monster called racism. You may be bringing down this monster, draining the life out of this monster, hands-on, joining the organization, protesting, creating your own organization, but by calling your power back, understanding who you are, and being able to just ask yourself and say to yourself, you know what? This mother, father beings try to hold me back, hold me down because of my race, because of my gender, because of my ethnicity, because of my identity, because of what I believe in, because of blah, 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 because of my family history. You know, in spite of that, and sometimes because of that, I am where I'm at. They haven't broken me. Now, there's some things I'm still moving through, but I'm still here. I'm still standing. Yes, 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 I am. How mother, father beings don't have no power over me? I was miseducated. We are powerful beings. Now, I want to talk about some of the things, some tools that you can use, that you may be using already, but I want to give it to you in my way. But before I do that, I want to give you some tools that Resma Menakem shares in his book, My Grandmother's Hands. I'm just going to read the summary. He goes into details. This book is more about racial trauma, but the tools will get you through anything. It brings you back to your body. You hear me talk about taking a breath. Taking a breath reprograms your nervous system. You may be listening to this and things are coming up that's triggering. Things are coming up that makes you feel like, I don't know. Yeah, I hear you about learning from physical pain and non-physical pain, but racism, nah, I just can't. Domestic violence, no, you're doing too much now. Because how somebody who is abused can learn from that pain? Come back to your body. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. No matter what you're doing, take a moment to take a breath, to enjoy the breath. Don't just enjoy it, enjoy it. Mind Pro. Dr. Naeem said, love this. I have this book on my desk. Ooh, I just had a thought. Dr. Naim Akbar said, I have this book on my desk sent to me by Brother Resma. You are breaking the seal on this self-healing formula that he shares. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, brother, elder, brother. You know, I had a thought as I was reading that, Dr. Naim. It's just a thought that I had. I'm sure you understand what's happening with me now. But I can imagine you and Resma doing something together. Oh my God. And you've definitely opened up the way for this kind of conversation. And there's so much. You know, the beautiful thing before I read, I'm good. That's just sending chills through my body. And I guess because of the work that I came here to do, what I was born to do, why I'm here, and I'm very clear about it. No matter what is going on, no matter what I'm going through or growing through, I know this is my work. It heals me. I'm healing myself as I express. Yes, I took notes. Yes, I did some research. There's some things that are just coming through me that's just healing me as it comes out. Because what you resist will persist. You push back, it keeps pushing back at you. What you accept moves on. So when you accept the gift, that is you. You get in the flow because your gift goes out, inspire and empower and teach other people, whatever that gift is. But when you resist your gift, it just pushes back like, come on, this is why you were born. I'm off on a tangent now. Let me come back. This excites me. Life excites me. Dr. Naim, I love you so much. I love and appreciate you. Hey, all I got to say is I'm a voice for the divine. I love that you said maybe it's a directive. That's right. Maybe it is. Who knows? We never know. Sometimes we know. When we know, we know. But yes, I can imagine that. Whew. I want to stop for a minute. When it comes to pain, this is not actually in my notes. When it comes to learning from pain, let your pain be a messenger. Let your pain be the vehicle to liberate you. See, when you run from your pain, it's going to keep chasing you. When you face your pain, ooh. Have you seen animals? No matter how strong or what's the word? Ferocious? I think that's the word. I hear it, but I don't use it often, so it sounds like I'm saying something else. When an animal is chasing another animal, and the animal they're chasing stops, or if it's a human being, the animal that's chasing will like, oh shit, hold on a minute. I've had that experience. I've shared it before. When I was in Nigeria, a chicken was chasing me because she thought I was, maybe it's a hen, not a chicken, a hen. Yeah, she thought I was chasing her babies. I legged it because she was coming with her 2 legs, and I was like, oh no, these 2 legs are better than your 2 legs. And then for whatever reason, I turned around and stopped, and it stopped. Whatever pain you're going through and growing through, when you stop to face it, your pain is like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, we got another one. Wants to learn. If it's a dream that you're having, a repetitive dream that you call a nightmare that you're having over and over, when you go to bed, as you're going to bed, have a conversation with the divine, have a conversation with your higher self and say, I need to face this nightmare to find out what the lesson is. Because even dreams can cause pain, a nightmare. So when you put that out there, you're tapping in, you're accessing something so much more. You're accessing your power. What is the message? And in that place, you become somebody else. Yeah, nice to see you. Yeah, Tahira. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Abu Bakr. She said, love that you. Okay, let me see if I can figure that out. Okay, love you for taking this path, Ade. You were saying what I was feeling a few minutes ago, especially for reaching into the hearts of our Black male. You are truly a blessing. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't read all of that before I flashed it, and I say this from a place of spirit. I love and I'm so grateful that I'm on this path. I'm telling you, without spiritual awareness, without my surrender to my gifts, and I'm sure you all can relate to it. You're listening to me because the same is true for you. I don't think I can't imagine there's anybody listening to me saying, I don't know why I'm here. I'm so confused. We have moments of confusion. There are moments where we don't know what we need to do. But the reason, if those of you that are listening, whether you're listening live or the archive, is because you understand what it means to be on the path. And when you surrender to the path, oh my God, it heals your pain. Sometimes the pain that we are feeling physically or non-physically, yeah, we go with that. Emotional pain is because we are not saying yes to our path. We're not saying yes to the gift. We keep trying to rationalize it, justify it. Who's going to pay for it? How am I going to make money doing that? That's the dumb question to ask. How much did you pay to get the gift? You can't even afford it. And now you're trying to ask somebody to pay for a gift that you can't even afford to pay for? Stop it. Ooh, that must be one of my ancestors who don't take no mess. And I invite that ancestor to speak through me because it's liberating. There's things that we do. Who can pay for it? Who's going to pay it? How am I going to pay my bills? Dumb questions. Who said anything about bills? Your gift is not a gift until you give it away. Your gift is not a gift just by giving away. You must receive the gift as well. And the gift really is you receiving yourself. You are a unique expression of the divine. You are a unique expression of your ancestors. And the divine, your ancestors, get to tell an amazing story through you. There are some people using their power to do things that are causing, and I'm not talking about political power. I'm talking about their life force. You see some people who change and realize. There's a brother I was listening to today. He goes by the name 19 Keys. And he talked about how he got in trouble when he was younger. And he'd been arrested 10 times. And he talked about how he turned his life around and what he's doing. A powerful brother. And his mind and where he goes, as I was listening to the interview, it's like, whoa, this brother is deep. I mean, he makes me feel like I'm swimming in shallow waters. And in his deepness, it's like, when you're deep, when you're coming from that deep place, people who need to hear will understand it. So the same mind that probably got him in trouble is the same mind that he's using now to inspire people. You get to choose how you use it. If you're operating from fear, then you're going to use it against yourself and others. You cause pain for you and others. When you come from a place of love, a force, love that harmonizes, that heals, that sets you free and others free. Not that, well, I got a gift, but I don't feel like loving today. No. This ain't about feeling. This is about a choice. This choice to let your life reflect what is good, what is great, what is glorious about you. So pain is an invitation. I have been dealing with pain. Okay. A headache constantly. I've gone through, oh my God, really oh my God, I've made up stories. I'm not even going to energize the stories that I made up. I've gone through the stories and then I've gone through a place where I'm just calm about it. And then I listen to it. I talk to God about it. I get my downloads through my journaling. A few days ago, I think it was yesterday, and while I was in the shower. Shower is a good place because in that place, you're in a receptive place. You're vulnerable. You're naked. Water. They say what? 90%, 80%, 70%. We're 80, 70, 90% of water. So in that place where you're naked taking a shower, you are in your essence. You're open to so much more. And I asked in the shower, I said, what is this headache about? And what I heard is, you need to slow down. Slow down. And there's nothing about that message that's like, that's weird. Interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Of course I need to slow my you-know-what down. Sometimes it's not just about physically rushing around. Sometimes it's about the thought that I was thinking I should be where I'm not. Sometimes get on social media and look at somebody who started podcasting 6 months ago and they got so many followers and they got all this thing that looks, I'm like, I've been doing this for 20 years. Why is this not happening for me? I neglect myself. I betray myself when I have those kind of conversations. So the reminder to slow down your thoughts. Slow down and be in the present moment. Slow down and take a breath. Slow down and honor yourself. Slow down and appreciate your journey. Slow down and reflect on what you've done, on the lives that you've touched, on what you put out there on a daily basis. Slow down. Slow down. I'm not just talking to myself. I'm just using things that are my story. Slow down and look at the gift that you're giving to humanity. Slow down and think of times when you felt like you didn't have it to give and you showed up. Slow down and think of times when you've done radio shows, Life Conversations Radio, and before this show, you just think you don't have what it takes because you're worried about paying bills or you just barely kept the light on, Mr. Light Worker. But you happen to call the electricity company and you happen to get the light on so you can have internet and do the show, and you get on there and do the show, and at the end you're like, ooh, that was great, that was nourishing. Now how do I get the money to pay back that I borrowed for somebody to keep the light on so I can have internet to talk to the world? Slow down and think of how your body is healing you. Slow down and then let the pain deliver the message. Okay, so chapter 12, My Grandmother's Hands, page 160. I'm on page 168 now. And Resmer gives tools to help you in moving through pain, clean pain. This is a summary. I'm not going to read the full descriptions. You can get the book or Google it. So he gives 5 anchors, 5 of them. Soothe yourself to quiet your mind. Calm your heart and settle your body. You know, if you so calm my heart, yeah, I know. I don't do them kind of. You can't do that where I've come from. Okay. You're going to snap. Soothe yourself to quiet your mind. Whatever you need to do, Ade, slow down. You're right where you need to be. Slow down. Everything is in divine order. Slow down. I got you. Slow down. You're not using your power to teach, to speak, to heal, to be a healer, to be a channel for healing, to create, to write, to drum. It's not really your power. It's my power that you're using. Slow down and recognize that. So back to Resmer. Soothe yourself to quiet your mind. Calm your heart and settle your body. That's the first anchor. Second one. Simply notice the sensations, vibrations, and emotions in your body instead of reacting to them. Simply notice the sensations, the vibrations, and emotions in your body instead of reacting to them. So instead of saying, why am I going through this? I need a painkiller. I'm out of painkiller. Why does this always happen to me? Oh my God, there's something wrong. Oh, I'm going to die. Maybe I got this. Maybe I got that. Maybe you got those, but still soothe yourself to quiet your mind, calm your heart, and settle your body. You move to anchor number 2. Simply notice the sensations, the vibrations, and emotions in your body instead of reacting to them. Anchor number 3. Accept the discomfort and notice when it changes instead of trying to flee from it. Woo! Accept the discomfort and notice when it changes instead of trying to flee from it. Acceptance is love. Love is acceptance. Love is freedom. When you accept it, you're shining the light of love on the discomfort. And the discomfort itself goes, oh, look who's paying attention. Oh, okay. Now I got a message for you. You've been running for a long time. I'm worn out. Pain is telling you I'm worn out. I got pain from chasing you. I'm glad you're accepting it. Anchor number 4. Stay present in your body as you move through the unfolding experience with all of its ambiguity and uncertainty, and respond from the best parts of yourself. Stay present in your body as you move through the unfolding experiences with all of its ambiguity, got to say that, slow down, and uncertainty, and respond from the best parts of yourself. Stay present. Be still and know that I am is God. Be still long enough to know that the I am presence is God in you as you. Self-knowledge. Anchor number 5. Safely discharge any energy that remains. Safely discharge any energies that remain. You can do that by stretching. You can do that by yawning, taking a deep breath. There are many ways. You can dance. You can tell a story. You can pray. You can do affirmative prayer. You can stop to meditate. Play music, soothing music, and just allow your body to rest. Meditation, sometimes people get nervous about that. I don't know why. I guess because we have misconceptions about meditation. I don't know how to meditate, because if I meditate, then I'm going to start thinking. You've been thinking. Newsflash, you've been thinking. And you've been thinking all those thoughts before you started meditating. You now recognize them because you sit in your you know what down. Wow, I've been thinking all those thoughts? Yep. Now, if the thoughts are wearing your ass out, I just got to say it. You can use a guided meditation. You can go into YouTube, guided meditation for peace of mind, guided meditation for love. There's all these apps that I'm not going to promote. Well, one of them I can promote. I'm on one of them. Yeah, actually, I got a meditation on there, so I can promote it. Insight Timer. I'm going to do some more later on, but I'm putting things in proper order. Don't want to go crazy. I've gone crazy. I was rushing. And Spirit say slow down. So now I have just one on there. Insight Timer. Go there. Listen to it. If you do, when you do, like it, leave a review. It would help me. Or not. You can do it or not, is what I mean. Meditation is you consciously resting. When you sleep, for the most part, you're resting your nervous system. You're resting your body. Meditation is consciously resting. I have a teacher, Dr. His name is escaping me now. At the Hillside, he works at Morehouse. I don't know if he's still there. And he trademarked consciously resting. And I love that. Because meditation is just consciously resting. Allowing yourself to be in the midst of all the noise and the activity and consciously, intentionally saying, I'm just going to be here. For 1 minute, for 2 minutes, for 5 minutes, I'm just going to be here. Oh, what am I going to eat after this meditation? Go back to your breath and come back. Feel your breath in and out. This is meditation 101, but sometimes we forget. You can meditate No matter what you're doing. You can meditate in a second by taking a breath. I've talked about that. Pain is a teacher, and if you pay attention to it, if you think of the pain that's going on inside of you right now and who's causing the pain, what is the message? So when you consciously rest, you might even catch an idea of what to do. Consciously resting is creating space for alignment, integration. You get to strengthen your intuition. And you find yourself making a call, going somewhere, going to a grocery store, buying something that you normally buy, and somehow you eat it and your body feels rejuvenated, or you feel like, that was good. That was good. I've never eaten that before. I've only had it once. I wonder what the benefits are. Now, because you're in tune, right? I don't know. I guess it's vitamins. And you go Google it, and you find that actually some of the benefits are dealing with the physical pain. Oh my God, I never knew. In the words of Tony Baker, journaling is a way to release the energy. Journaling, just write. Write, ask a question. If you don't do the anchors because you don't have the book and you don't remember, you don't want to come back here and you can't remember where I said it, you fast forward but you can't find it, and now you're having more pain because you can't find it. The simple thing you can do when you're experiencing pain, ask the pain, what are you here to teach me? What are you here to teach me? What are you here to teach me? What do I need to know about the pain that I'm feeling? We have the tools. They're so simple, but sometimes it feels like, okay, right. I'm just going to ask pain, what is it here to teach me? Yeah, it's here to teach me to make my life miserable. This way of living, this way of being is a choice. It's stepping off the train of confusion. It's stepping off the bus of I'm powerless, I am worthless. And it's stepping onto there's a better way. It is stepping into the consciousness of truth. I always say truth means nothing until it becomes a way of life. You can speak the truth, speak the word. However, until it becomes a way of being, it'll be hard for you to really stand by it. Now, speaking it doesn't mean it's not true. And speaking it doesn't mean you still don't catch something. There's a benefit that you reap from that, because if you're just making stuff up because it sounds good or you heard somebody say it, energy, everything is energy. Someone's going to know. You're going to know. You're going to say to yourself, I need to shut up. And you can speak the truth as you know it, and you're at a place where you haven't fully embodied it. But your commitment to the truth that you're speaking becomes that transformative process. When you open up yourself to more deeper wisdom, deeper understanding, it will come rushing through you. And you might find yourself saying, whoa, where did all of that come from? It came from a place you live in, the place you're living in, the place you're in. When you come to that present moment, pain is a teacher. Everything in life is a teacher. You are a teacher to somebody else and to yourself. And some of you may be thinking this right now. The quote, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And then there's another part to that. When the teacher is ready, the student and the students will appear. Now there's another part to that. You are the teacher and you're the student. feeling Steve Harvey today. Your ass gonna end up on YouTube. You are the teacher and you're the student. We're everything. We're everything. We are everything. And you don't have to take my words for it. I'm yielding to the voice. I'm yielding to what I know to be true. And I'm bringing it through my filter. My mission, my intention is to be the pointer, to activate something in you, to cause you to tap into your truth, to tap into truth in your unique way, to tell the truth about your personal truth so that you can embrace the spiritual truth. Jean-Baptiste, my brother, welcome. Play the music. Welcome. Drea, nice to see you. Kathy, nice to see you. Or not Kathy. Yeah, it's Kathy, right? Yeah, Kat. Well, Kat, but it's Kathy, I think. Anyway, folks on Instagram. I think that's it. I think I'm complete for now. For those of you who missed it, I have an event coming up July 9th. What's in the name? Representing your ancestors. The grief ritual is representing our ancestors. But this one coming up June 9th on Let's Reimagine platform is What's in the Name? Using names, our names, your names, to tap into something deep, to understand yourself. When you understand yourself, they can't touch you. And you can really let MC Hammer be the one behind you. You can't touch this. And even when you are touched, you'll heal quickly. Even if you're traumatized, you don't hold on to it. Yes. Yes. Dr. Naeem says, so this must mean that life is about learning since our experience alternates between being taught and teaching. Yes. Yes. The elder has spoken. It is. It is. I'm so grateful for you. I'm grateful for us. I'm grateful for me. I'm grateful for the time that we're in. We're in a very peculiar time where old way of thinking is dying. We see it, and it looks messy. Sometimes it shows up as physical death. Sometimes it's emotional death. And a new world, a new earth is springing forth through and as us. So we are dying and we are birthing at the same time. That's confusing to the logical mind. You got to go deeper and allow the invisible to be made visible by doing your spiritual practice. Thank you, my brother, Jean-Baptiste. Thank you, Dr. Naeem. I appreciate you. So yes, what's in the name? Representing your ancestors, July 9th. That's a Saturday at, was it 2 p.m. Eastern? I don't remember. But go to the link, bit.ly/your ancestors number 3. bit.ly/your ancestors and the number 3. Tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, join me and my dear friend Ricky Bias for Soul Fulfilling, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. UK time, and where we soulfully create a space for us to heal, to integrate, to come into alignment, to make room for everything about us, the good, the bad, the ugly, I can't even talk about it. When you make room for that and welcome it and accept it, oh my God, it grows you. On Mondays, I have another podcast with my dear friends, Cecile Armstrong and Christine Gotro. It's called Playing with Possibilities. The link for that, go to Cecile, SACIL Armstrong.com. And for those of you who are looking for a podcast hosting site, if you're looking for one or want to start your own podcast, libsyn.com, libsyn.com, libsyn.com. Check out what they're offering. And if you want to sign up with them, make sure you use my promo code. You don't have to use it, but you can get a deal if you use it. What's the code? ADE. ADE. It's really that simple. For those of you who don't know, ADE means crown. So when the crown is your promo code, you know you're living in the land of I am. Royalty. What else was I going to say about that? Something I was going to say. Oh, if you like it, make sure you sign up. My advice is to sign up on the 2nd of every month. Well, not every month. Like if you sign up today, you get the rest of today free in the whole of July. But if you sign up on July 2nd, you get the whole of July free and the whole of August. And if you want to know more, just send me an email. I'll explain it to you. And if you want to exchange money as a gift, you got my platforms, the IG flashing on the screen, paypal.me/Ade Anifowishi, Cash App, #, not $, but I do have an American one, but we're going to stay with the $. No, we're going to stay with the #, Life Coach Ade. And Venmo is the same thing as well, Ade Anifowishi. Well, it's my name. I think that's it. I love and appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, my brother, Jean Baptiste, all the way from Rwanda. I always feel like there's one more thing I need to say, but I don't know. I'm out. I love you. I bless you. I appreciate you. And I thank God for you. Take this consciousness, multiply it. I like what you said, Ashley. Ashley said, collectively we'll learn. Collectively we will get to peace. Yes. Deeply grateful for both students and teachers and for the ongoing exchange. Yes, yes, yes. Father, Mother, God, all in one. Don't get me started. Let me not read any more comments. Whatever you do, it would save you. It would help you. It will prosper you if you choose to be who you are. And that's an ongoing process. It's an art. Every day, every moment. Give yourself the opportunity to be you.